Welcome to the Daily UFO UAP Disclosure Report. I'm Sally Cyberclaw, bringing you verified, fact-based news on government disclosure efforts from official sources and key figures across the UAP community. Monday, March 2nd, 2026. Key developments from official sources. There are no new official developments to report today regarding President Trump's directive to release UAP and extraterrestrial-related files. The White House, Pentagon, Department of War, and the Office of the Director of National Intelligence have not issued any new statements or press releases in the past 24 hours. This should come as no surprise. The ongoing conflict in Iran is consuming all federal resources and attention at every level: military, diplomatic, and congressional. Complex disclosure initiatives involving multiple agencies are effectively on pause while national security focus remains locked on active war operations. The All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office has no new announcements regarding its caseload, data collection efforts, or timeline for document releases. Previous momentum from President Trump's February 19th directive has clearly stalled as the administration prioritizes more immediate strategic concerns. However, a remarkable story from the past has resurfaced in a major new interview that deserves our full attention. And this is worth the bulk of today's episode. Gary McKinnon, the British hacker who famously breached 97 United States military and government computer systems in 2002, has broken his silence in an extensive interview on the American Alchemy podcast with host Jesse Michels. McKinnon was accused of perpetrating what authorities called the biggest military computer hack of all time. He accessed networks belonging to the NSA, the Defense Information Systems Agency, the Department of Defense, the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, and NASA. What he found inside NASA's network is extraordinary. McKinnon gained access to computers at Building 8 of the Johnson Space Center. He discovered folders labeled RAW and processed containing images in a proprietary NASA format. Using a 56K dial-up connection, he slowly loaded one image, watching it render line by line. A planet appeared. And then, he saw it. A large, silvery, cigar-shaped object, smooth with no screws, no bolts, no visible propulsion, positioned horizontally against Earth. Moments later, someone manually took control of his screen and disconnected him. The session was over. McKinnon also discovered a spreadsheet labeled non-terrestrial officers. The listing suggested personnel were not based on Earth ranks, ship-to-ship transfers, and what appeared to be a secret space program. The implications are profound. The consequences for McKinnon were severe. The United States sought his extradition under a revised treaty, charging him with damage to every computer he accessed. He was threatened with up to 70 years in prison, 10 years per count, across 7 charges, potentially in a secret military tribunal with Guantanamo-style restrictions. In his darkest moment, McKinnon admitted he bought potassium chloride and considered ending his own life. In 2012, then British Home Secretary Theresa May blocked the extradition, stating that McKinnon would face such a high risk of suicide that it could not proceed. But McKinnon remains on the Interpol red list with a live arrest warrant, meaning he cannot enter the United States to this day. His decade-long international legal battle came at an enormous personal cost. McKinnon maintains he does not know whether the object he saw was extraterrestrial. He says it was not normal space equipment, but it could have been classified human technology. However, the description of a smooth, cigar-shaped craft without visible propulsion bears a striking similarity to what U.S. Navy pilot David Fravor encountered in 2004. The Tic Tac incident, later acknowledged as authentic by the Pentagon. McKinnon's alleged sighting predates the Fravor encounter by several years. What makes this story so compelling is the specificity. McKinnon was looking for evidence of suppressed free energy or propulsion technology he believed could help solve global energy poverty. Instead, he stumbled into something that remains one of the most well-documented, unauthorized intrusions into classified UFO-related systems on record. The fact that someone manually disconnected him in real time suggests live monitoring by personnel who knew exactly what he had accessed. And the non-terrestrial officer's spreadsheet, if accurate, implies a level of organization that goes far beyond sporadic sightings. Summary. The Iran conflict has absorbed all federal bandwidth, effectively pausing the UAP disclosure momentum from President Trump's mid-February directive. But today's episode brings you a major historical story in extensive detail. Gary McKinnon's account of hacking into NASA systems in 2002, finding images of a cigar-shaped craft above Earth, discovering a spreadsheet listing non-terrestrial officers, and facing 70 years in prison for what he exposed. His decade-long extradition battle, the decision by British authorities to block the transfer to protect his life, and his current status on the Interpol Red List with a live US warrant. This is not rehash. This is a man who went inside the systems and allegedly saw evidence that the US government has been hiding. The American Alchemy interview with Jesse Michels has brought this story fresh to a new generation, and the details McKinnon shares — manual disconnection, real-time monitoring, non-terrestrial officer ranks — are specific enough to demand closer investigation. The truth is out there, and we're tracking it down. See you tomorrow.